All right, welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking, and today we're going to look at the Photos Picker. So the Photos Picker is the new SwiftUI version of how to get a photo picker into your app. And we're, as SwiftUI developers, are extremely excited about this because previously it took us a lot of code to adapt the UI kit version into SwiftUI. It was doable and it worked. But of course, if we have a native SwiftUI version, it just makes our lives that much easier. I'm adding it to the Swift Concurrency playlist, not because it's technically a Swift Concurrency feature, but most of the implementations I've seen are using some sort of async await to handle the data that we get back from the picker. We can absolutely do it without Swift Concurrency, but I think it's worth it to just include it because that's definitely the most common use case that I've seen. So in this video, we're going to dive into obviously how to get the photo picker into your app. We're going to look at how to select a single photo, how to select multiple photos, how to select different types of media content. There is definitely a lot of things that the photo picker can do that we are not going to cover, but I would assume for most apps and most use cases, what we're going to talk about here basically covers the normal realm of picking photos. So with that said, let's jump into the code and check it out. Welcome back, everyone. Another quick video here, something that is technically doesn't have to be async await related, but I think the most common use cases are, and that's why I'm going to put it into this playlist. We're going to cover the photo picker. There are a ton of tutorials online on YouTube, on other websites about how to use the photo picker. So I'm going to do just a quick overview just to try to clear up any confusion, just to kind of get it in your guys' toolbox. There are probably other articles online that are going to go way more into detail. There's a lot of like edge cases using the photo pickers with like specific types of media that you're selecting. But we're going to do a quick use case here just so that you guys know how to whip it up if you need it. So let's right click the navigator, create a new file, a SwiftUI view, and let's call this one the PhotoPickerBootcamp. Go ahead and click create. Prior to the photo picker coming to SwiftUI, we had to use a UI view representable to take the UI kit photo picker and convert it into SwiftUI. That was a pain in everyone's butt, and I'm super happy that this is now added. I will say that the UI kit version I think is still, just like the UI kit map, still has more features than the SwiftUI version. So there's a pretty strong use case to not use the SwiftUI version here, but regardless, let's just get this set up so at least we can try it out, see if we like it. Gonna do a MVVM structure, so we'll do a main actor final class photo picker view model, observable object, and open the brackets. Let's initialize one in our view. I'm gonna try to move fast here because this is not super fun for anyone. Private var view model equals this, and let's get this going, guys. We are going to do a very, very basic screen that has a VStack. Let's give it some spacing of maybe 40. Open the brackets. Let's keep our text of hello world at the top just so we know we're on the screen, and our photo picker view model will have a reference to an image. We'll say at published, maybe private set var selected image of type UI image, and we'll set it equal to nil to start. And on our screen, let's update this screen. We'll say if let image equals the view model.image. So if there is a selected image, we'll put it on the screen with an image. We'll use our UI image initializer, pass in the image. Just give it some basic UI here. We'll make it resizable. We will scale it to fill, and we'll give it a quick frame of maybe 200, 200. So it's a nice square, and we can add some corner radius of maybe 10. Cool. I'm going to do the most simple photo picker that we can possibly do. So we have to first Photos Picker. We need to first import the Photos UI module. So just like SwiftUI has a bunch of native components, Photos UI has a bunch of native components. And Photos UI has, of course, our Photos Picker.
Now, if we take a look at this, this is overwhelming, the number of initializers that they give us here. I do not like when Apple does this. I'm sure there are valid reasons to have some of these other initializers here, but we're going to try to keep it with the most simple one, the one that I've used in apps, probably covers most use cases. We want one with the matching inside. So it looks like a lot of them have matching actually. Maybe we do, see, I don't even know which one to pick, guys. Let's see. We want a selection, we want matching, and so the title ones are going to be, you have to give it a string of a title, but I like the label ones where we can totally customize our UI. Even though we're just going to do a string, the label is much more realistic for a real app. So let's do maybe this one here, see if that works. All right. Now we have this selection here, and we can see that the selection is not of type UI image, it's of type PhotosPickerItem. So when we select an item from the PhotoPicker, it is actually coming back as a PhotoPickerItem, and then we need to manually convert it into an image or whatever it is. And the reason I think they're doing that is because we could pick something that is not an image, right? We could pick like a movie, for example. So we can't just have this be an image, it might be a movie. And so we're gonna get this PhotoPickerItem back, and then we're gonna convert it, we're gonna try to convert it into an image if we can. So we need another thing to bind to up here. So I'm going to create an app published var. Let's call this one image selection. And this will be of type PhotoPickerItem. Set it equal to nil. So we could bind to the PhotoPickerItem with the money sign view model photo or image selection. And we'll make the label here just a text that says open the PhotoPicker. Let's give it a foreground color, maybe red. Cool. All right, so if I click this, it's that simple, and my PhotoPicker popped up. You guys don't understand how difficult this was before this was in SwiftUI to make a UI kit view representable and then try to find the view controller and then like push a view controller. We literally have like one line of code here, maybe 2 lines of code. Click it open and the PhotoPicker is open. That fast, super simple. I do want to talk about quickly in here there should be a matching option here. So we can add in a filter. So the iPhone supports multiple different image media types. So there's like burst images, cinematic photos, images, I think there's like videos in here, time lapses. So we can be specific on what types that we want to match. So I can do just like images as probably the most common one because most apps just support regular images. But what is cool is in here, we can see that this is a type PHPickerFilter. I think it's probably some enum with some special cases. And some of those cases are all or any. So I could do any, so it's like an or statement. So any of this array. So if I want images or bursts or cinematic videos, I could do it like that. But I could also do all. So this is like a matching all of. So this item might need to be a burst and an image in order for it to display in the picker, which obviously there's nothing. I don't think the all is very common. The any is much more common, but we're just going to keep this as images for now, primarily because we want to filter out videos. We don't want users uploading videos because we're only going to add images into our app now. So if I click this and then I click on one of these images, that image is selected and it gets selected as this image selection of type item. And now we need to convert this item into a UI image. So we could subscribe to it like we did in the last video. We added some Combine subscribers and publishers and subscribers, and then anytime that it changes, we go down that loop. But we only need one quick function here. For every time we set the value of image selection, we want to trigger one other function. So we're going to do that with a did set here. So anytime we did set this value, this gets triggered. And then we're going to create a private function here called setImage. And setImage will take, we'll say from selection, which was of course of type PhotoPickerItem, PhotosPickerItem, and we'll make it optional. And then firstly, we're going to say guard let selection else return. So if it is nil, then obviously we don't need to do anything else, and we'll just return out of this function. But if it's not nil, let's create a task. And first we're going to try to get the data from this item here. So we'll say if let data equals try await the selection dot load transferable. This is new. Apple is pushing us to start using this load transferable. There's an async version and there is a completion handler version if we don't want to use async await. Of course, we're using async await in this playlist. I don't know exactly why we're using this transferable. I think it has something to do with data types that are easily transferable across like applications. So if you're like importing data from another app or you're just moving some sort of data around, this is sort of the new protocol that we are using. I assume we're going to see this more often in the next couple years as they try to streamline a lot of the APIs. But for right now, this is the first time I've ever used load transferable myself. If you guys know of other use cases where we use load transferable, definitely write a comment below. I think that would definitely help some people out here. So what kind of type are we trying to get from this selection? Well, we want to just get some sort of data. So we'll say data.self, data, not date. And so if we can get this data, let's then try to convert the data into a UI image. So we'll say if let UI image equals the UI image, and we'll cast it from data. So if we actually do get a UI image, we will set selected image equal to the new UI image, and then we'll just return out of this function. So now we should call this, every time we set this, we're going to call set image from image selection. All right, let's run the preview. Let's click on maybe one of these, and our image is on the screen. It was that easy to get an image into our app. And now, of course, we might need some other function like a save button that then takes our UI image and uploads it to our server, uploads it to like Cloud Firestore or something. But to just get the image in our app this fast, that was relatively simple. I'm just going to note, because it probably will happen to some of you guys, if I click these images, it's working. For some reason, if I click like this image up here, it doesn't work. I think it's something weird with the image that is in the simulator. But anyway, most of these images are working at least. This code works. I like it. I do want to just go over an example of actually catching these errors in case you guys want to have that in your app. So another way to write this code could be we have a do and we have a catch. And we might say let data equals this, so we can try and actually throw the errors. We'll print the error if there is one. And then if we actually get the data, we can try to cast it as an image. So we can say guard let UI image, or I can just paste this in here. Make sure we get the image, else we can throw our own error. We'll just call a URL error, maybe bad server response for now. We should probably write up our own custom errors. And then if we do get the image, and it looks like data is actually optional here too, so we should do guard let data let image, and then we can set selected image equals to UI image. All right, so kind of the same code here. Maybe it's a little longer, but now we can actually catch the errors if you guys want. And this is really cool. I think this is the fastest way to get image selection into your app. The last thing I'm going to touch on is there is also another completion here where I can do, so here I selected one image. I can also do, like I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it down here. And we'll say selected images, which would be an array. We'll set it equal to a blank array. And then image selections, which would be an array. We'll set it equal to a blank array. And then we can have another function, which I will copy and I will paste. Let's just use this initial loop here, and I'm going to delete this and set images from selections, which will be an array. And we're going to say for selection in selections. So for each of the items that are selected, we're going to try to do this. And instead of setting this outright, we're going to first have, let's say, var images of type array of UI image. And we will say images.append UI image. And then after our loop is complete, we will set self.selectedImages equal to images. I don't actually think I need self here. And up here, set images from image selections. Come down here, I'm going to do another photo picker where we have image selections. Open the Photos Picker. I love how it's literally the same initializer for multiple images versus single image. And last but not least, let's just put on the screen here. We'll say if viewModel.image selections or selected images is empty. If it is not empty, if there are an array of selected images, we'll just put on a scroll view, maybe. We'll do a scroll view, maybe horizontal, false. We'll do an H stack in here, and we'll just say for each of the view model selected images, image, and let's just copy this code real quick. Maybe we make these a little smaller. I'm just going to do 50 by 50. Cool. Let's see if this compiles real quick. Nope, looks like we need, are these hashable? I think they are. Cool. I'm going to come in the Photos Picker. I'm going to be able to select multiple images now. Let's do these bottom three. Let's add them. And I have a quick bug in my app. Let's come up here, set images for each one. Append. Oh, we shouldn't return out of the function. We want to get to this line of code. All right. Open the Photos Picker. 1, 2, 3. Add. And now I have 3 images in my app. I can add another one as well. I can deselect a couple of them. And then I can open the Photos Picker, the original, and still select one. And then I can select many. Cool. I think this is probably the quickest way to get image selection into your app. You guys now know how to do single selection as well as multiple image selection. There are more complexities if you use some of the other PhotosPicker initializers, but I don't think it is worth the time unless you need to do something very specific in these photo pickers. Anyway, I hope this video helped somebody out there. If it did, leave a comment. If there is more information around load transferable that you guys know about, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking, and I'll see you in the next video.